This recipe is a bit of a twist on the classic apple crumble. What I'm going to do is serve the apples whole, so roast them whole. You can see how gorgeous these pink ladies are. Then I'm going to serve it with a butterscotch sauce and a nut crumble. It's so delicious. Now, before we get onto the apples, we need to make the butterscotch. This is pretty much the glue that puts it all together. So in a pot, turn the heat on, just on a medium heat, and I'll add some sugar, and I'm using some brown sugar for this recipe, along with 20 grams of butter, so just half of this, and 250 mils of thickened cream. And that's how easy it is to make a delicious butterscotch sauce. Now we're just going to mix this together and just allow this to bubble away and thicken and change colour slightly. And you also want that butter to incorporate with the cream and the sugar. Now onto the apples. Now I'm using pink ladies. They're fantastic eating as is, but they also bake quite nicely. They're sweet and they've also got a slight tartness to them. If you can't find pink ladies, you can absolutely use a good old Granny Smith apple for this recipe. So I'll grab the remaining butter and I want to cut it into 6 even portions. Okay. And we're just going to place a little knob of butter onto each apple like so. And this is just going to melt away as it cooks. If there's any left over, just pop it into the baking dish. And what makes these extra special is the addition of some vanilla bean paste. And as this roasts in the oven, it just gives it a wonderful perfume. Apples and vanilla, just best mate. So a little drizzle of that onto each apple, and it's going to combine with that beautiful butter. Now onto the crumble component of this dish. So onto a baking dish, I'm going to combine a combination of sesame seeds, and this is my favourite combination, but you can change up the nuts and the seeds depending on what you like, and also depending on what you have in your pantry. I like to do this when I need to use up some pine nuts or some walnuts. So in with the pine nuts, walnuts, and to keep with the apple crumble theme, some rolled oats, some cinnamon, just a pinch, and then use your hands just to combine all of this together. Now have a look at this butterscotch. See how it's thick and glossy, it's looking just right. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to add a few tablespoons, 3 or 4 tablespoons. You don't want to drench it in too much of this because we need this for the apples later on. We just want it to act almost as a glue for our crumble. So incorporate that, mix it around so most of it is coated. Give it a shake. Smells good. Now this goes into the oven for about 15 minutes. Keep checking it so we get a lovely even colour. I'll also add the apples. Now the apples cook in 2 parts. First of all, cook for about 20 minutes just so they're soft in the centre, and then they're going to come out and I'm going to pour over all this yummy butterscotch and they go back into the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, the crumble has come out of the oven. You can see it's golden and crispy. Love that. And have a look at these baked apples. See how they're just still blushing? They're just right. And the best way to check that they're ready is just simply place a sharp knife in the centre. It should be soft, and then as you get close to the centre, there should be a little resistance. I like the 2 textures of the apples. If you overcook it, then they're going to start to burst. So we really want to try to keep their shape as best possible. So to serve this, I like to start with this gorgeous butterscotch in the dish, a generous spoonful, because everyone likes butterscotch. Place that into the bowl, almost like a little puddle of it, and we'll add one of these apples just to the centre. I've made some chantilly cream, which is whipped thickened cream with some extra vanilla bean paste, and you want a generous amount of that on the side. You could also add some custard or ice cream would be nice too. And then a big handful of this crumble. It's almost like a deconstructed apple crumble. This dish is humble and it's very comforting, just like the original apple crumble, but I find it a little more elegant.